Hello, welcome to Thrive Conversations. Today we are going to have a workplace episode in You Thrive. Let's get into it. Sometimes the employee who is called lazy is not actually lazy, is actually fighting exhaustion from hypothyroidism. Think about it. Sometimes the colleague labeled too emotional is battling some severe hormonal imbalance. Sometimes the worker losing weight, rapidly shaking, having anxiety, sweating, irritability. It's not just stable. They could be having hyperthyroidism without knowing. And sometimes people suffer in silence because workplaces do not just understand thyroid diseases. We are here to meet deadlines. We are here to make sure that we do the work. But we don't pay closer attention to what is happening in our bodies. Today we are changing that conversation, that narrative from workplaces. I want us to get to understand our bodies, to listen our bodies, because look at the whole clock, right? We have 24 hours in a day. Most times we spend our time at workplace. That is around 8 to 10 hours every single day. And we get to work at 8 p.m. We get to the house because of the errands, traveling. We get to the house at 8 p.m. You do a routine, you eat, and then you are sleeping. And then the next day, most of us work 5 to 6 days in a week. We get to rest only on Sundays. So most of the time we spend it at workplace, and that is why we're here to change that narrative, to change that conversation, because thyroid diseases do not only affect the body, they affect productivity, confidence, mental health, relationships, attendance, identity. And yet millions of people go to work every day carrying symptoms nobody sees. You don't even listen, and you cannot have open conversation about what is happening in your body. At Youth Foundation, we believe awareness must move beyond hospitals. It must enter homes, schools, community, and especially workplaces, because we are adults and we need to understand ourselves better, because we are predisposed to a lot of life issues and challenges. Yet we here not paying closer attention to what our bodies are trying to communicate. Being called lazy due to fatigue, weight comments, and body shaming. Umeongeza kilo? Na mbona umekonda hivyo siku hizi? Quite insensitive, right? Mood changes misunderstood as attitude problems. Brain fog affecting performance. Frequent clinic visits being judged. Frequent asking for permission to go to the hospital. You look fine, culture, but you're okay. What's up? Not every struggling employee is irresponsible. Some are medically overwhelmed. And the disease doesn't have to show physically. It could be inside, how one is feeling, based on how closely they pay attention and listen to how the body is trying to communicate. The thyroid is a small gland with a massive responsibility in our body. That is energy regulation, metabolism, mood, heart rate, our temperature in our bodies. And hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, autoimmune thyroid diseases, thyroid storm awareness, medication adherence. Something else, missing deadlines due to fatigue, due to brain fog, panic attacks mistaken for incompetence, sleep disturbances that happen, medication side effects, financial burden of tests and treatment, and also medication, stigma and isolation that comes with it. So many people are silently apologizing for symptoms they never chose. And what are some of the things that our human resource managers can incorporate into their policies to make sure that they support everybody who is battling and thyroid related conditions and any other chronic illness? Compassionate leadership is key. Flexible medical appointments, give them permission, health, mental health support, non-discriminatory policies, wellness education, respectful communication where you don't get to judge. A supportive workplace can become part of treatment because it helps easing the whole burden. On medication adherence, rest and sleep hygiene, stress management, regular follow-ups. Make sure that you develop some kind of policies at workplace that support people. That means whenever they need breaks, whenever they need to go and go get those reviews, medication, drug refills, make sure that you're supporting them. Make sure you listen to them and don't judge them. Speaking up early, building support system. You deserve accommodation, dignity, and understanding, not to be shamed. And how can organization create healthier environments for chronic illnesses? Those are questions that we should ask. What does compassionate leadership look like? And for a thyroid warrior, what was the hardest part of working while sick? Because we need to get to know this so that we can be able to know just these are the policies that we need to add to incorporate in our management. What support changed everything? What helped us to ease the whole burden that we are feeling? It is something that is of vital key because it will help pivot even your self-esteem whenever you are performing your duties. Today's conversation is bigger than thyroid disease. It is about humanity at the workplace. It is about learning that productivity without compassion becomes harmful and perhaps the greatest of the future with no anybody to ask questions. What work did you do today? What were you doing there the whole day? Without being judged. This is Youth Thrive Foundation, and we believe transforming awareness into understanding, pain into purpose. Thank you for listening, and we would highly recommend that workplaces should be made more comfortable for everybody. That means we incorporate policies that are employee friendly, employer friendly to make sure that we ease in the whole burden. And by that, we can improve the work that we are doing, the productivity, and we live in love as a family, as a community. So, here as Youth Thrive, we are here to build our community and to make sure that we strengthen the workplace community by making sure that we support everybody who is battling chronic illnesses and who is battling any silent condition that they cannot speak out because of the fear of being judged, because of how they will be treated. And some people even go that extra mile to make sure that, you know what, we don't have you as our employee anymore. And you know what, tomorrow it could be you the employer who is struggling with such. And you know what, you wouldn't like people to reciprocate what you offered. I think it's time for us to build a community full of love, full of support, so that we can continue supporting each other, isn't the burden, pivot the growth and make sure that everybody feels accommodated, everybody feels seen, everybody feels heard. And welcome to Youth Thrive Foundation. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms at Youth Thrive Foundation.